Hello, David. How are you? Welcome to tonight's episode of Letty's Story Part 2. I'll give it a few minutes and then I'll get started. I've been better, but I'm okay. It is actually a fan fiction story that I wrote. So it is loosely based off Stephanie Myers's Twilight. It is leans more so towards the Wolfpack's kids. Oh wow, David. It's an awesome series. I mean, I watched it, years ago, but sometimes you just find certain series that you love, and that's one series that I do. Maybe so, David. And now that I have my laptop back up and running, maybe I can start back writing again. Yeah, I hear you, David. All right. We're 4 minutes in. I'll go ahead and get started. I'll start with a recap of the first part. The lead female in the story is named Letitia Letty Black. Of course, everybody calls her Letty. Um, David, I have quite a few that I still watch. Star Wars, Transformers. Um, there's a lot of them. Letty is the daughter of one of the original Wolfpack members. Um, her dad was direct descendant of the first shapeshifter. Her ancestor, you know, teamed up with a wolf when he was on a spirit walk, and his body got took over by another member of his tribe out of jealousy, thus making his descendants shapeshifters. This is why they shapeshift into a wolf. They are not what is commonly known as werewolves. Um, They can turn at will, usually when their emotions are running high. Letty found her soulmate in another alpha son who is also born an alpha, which is Andrew. Tonight, we are going to go through the alpha ceremony. And here we go. Sorry, I get nervous when I read my own stuff. As Letty and Andrew were getting ready. Hey, Sharon, how are you? I hear you there. My allergies has been killing me. As Letty and Andrew were getting ready for the alpha ceremony, of course, there were lots to be done. Both their fathers were reminding them of what the ceremony would be. Both Jake and Sam take pride in their eldest children taking the alpha roles, with Letty and Andrew taking on the alpha ships. That means that Jake and Sam are able to stop shifting. They are able to go on and lead normal lives. As time for the ceremony approaches, the tribe, the older wolf pack members, as well as the newly turned children of the wolf pack members, all start to gather at the sacred circle. The sacred circle is where the elders of the tribe have always held their meetings, sitting around a campfire. Both Andrew and Letty have to not only prepare their minds, they have to be dressed appropriately within the clothes of their people. Because no matter what, stepping into the sacred circle, it would be disrespectful to be dressed in modern clothes, at least for the alphas. As the moon starts to rise in the night sky, Jake and Sam take their places within the circle. Both are facing each other. For the first time in their people's history, the changing of the alpha will be not one alpha, but two. Never before had there been two alphas before Andrew and Letty's fathers. Though Jake was by all rights alpha, Jake had decided upon becoming a shifter that he did not want to be alpha. the girl that he was in love with was not a member of their tribe. Therefore, technically, he was not supposed to tell their secret to this girl. But alas, Jake, being the rightful alpha, he was able to go around Sam's gag order of not telling the girl he was in love with. As Jake stands there thinking back upon, his life with the original pack, he couldn't help but smile. For the original pack is what led to this night. As Letty and Andrew comes into the circle, one approaches from the east and the other from the west, both coming into the circle at the same time. Both approach their fathers and stand before them, before they kneel. First, Jacob speaks to Letty in their native tongue. My daughter, as your father, you have made me proud. You have grown into a wonderful young woman. You are strong. You are beautiful. And I know above all, you will put our people before the needs of yourself. Now arise and take your rightful place as Alpha. As Letty climbs to her feet with her father's help, the moon shines directly on them. The whispers of their ancestors can be heard throughout the sacred circle as Letty feels the Alpha's powers enter her body. Andrew kneels before his father, Sam. Sam places his hands on his son's shoulder and he says, Andrew, my son, you have grown to be a strong, mindful young man. You are strong. I am thankful and I am very proud of you. Now arise and take your rightful position as Alpha. As Andrew climbs to his feet, once again, the voices of their ancestors are heard throughout the sacred circle. Hearing the voices, Andrew feels the power of the Alpha enter his body. Though both had been strong in spirit and in body, with the Alpha ship entering both their bodies, they grew not only taller, but stronger. Being an Alpha, being a leader, comes with its own responsibilities. Both knew this. Both have been trained since birth to become Alphas of their father's packs. Jake steps forward, holding out a hand to both the now Alphas. And as each shake each hand, Jake says, now as the rightful chief, I give you my blessings. The two of you are now to bring the pack together as one. Andrew, your father and I have both agreed that we will step down as the rightful male alpha of this pack. Do you agree to your duties to uphold them and to come together as one with my daughter, Letitia? Standing up tall and straight, Andrew nods as he says, yes, Chief, I will. Turning to his daughter, Jacob says, Letitia, as rightful female of this pack, do you also agree to do your rightful duties as not only an alpha, but as also a den mother to the younger wolves? Letty stands tall as she nods to her father. Yes, Chief, I will. Hey, Chuck, how are you? I understand, David. I promise not to take too long. I try not to make it over 45 minutes to an hour. As the ceremony winds down, the people, the elders, as well as the packs, all three packs. Well, now there's only two. Celebrate. The food is brought out, and the other tribe members that do not know the secret is allowed to come in into the circle. I get something to drink. Sorry. It's going good, Chuck. With the packs, they are all proud to call Letty and Andrew their alpha. The elder pack has all decided to stop phasing or shifting. Some call it phasing, others call it shifting. The new pack consists of members of the original pack's kids. And all are descended originally from the original shapeshifter. Throughout the many generations, of course, there's been marriage, So technically, though they are all distantly kin, some closer than others. Keep this in mind. As the festivities will gear down, Andrew walks Letty to her father's house. As they walk in, they decide that they need to set up a game plan. The elder pack members had decided to run their last night, with Letty and Andrew taking over the following day, which would mean patrol schedules, as well as other things that the packs would have to take care of. Perhaps you wonder why the wolf pack protects their tribal lands. Soon enough, you'll find out. Entering the kitchen, Letty immediately goes to the coffee maker. Putting coffee in the coffee maker and filling it up with water, she turns it on before turning back to Andrew. As they wait for the coffee, they make, small chit chat. Talking about the alpha ceremony and how they both now feel. As soulmates, each feels the other's emotions and feelings. They will know when the other is in pain. They will know each other's happiness, sadness, fear. Both on this night can feel the other's feelings of ecstaticness. Though there is a hint of fear within. Of course, who wouldn't be afraid? Both are starting a brand new life, though they are starting down this new life path together. As the coffee finished making, Letty pours both a cup of coffee and they sit at the kitchen table. Letty reaches over and grabs a map of the tribal lands off of the counter. Grabbing a pencil, both set to work. On a separate piece of paper, Letty writes down the names of each of the new members of the new pack. They need a 24-hour schedule, though there have not been any attacks since the last war. They never know when an attack may come. They decide on a schedule of 2 wolves per shift, unless they sense attacks or they get word that an attack is imminent. Then it will be stepped up to 3 or 4 per patrol shift. As the night wears on, Andrew can tell that something's not quite right with Letty. He stands and pulls her from the chair she is seated in and wraps his arms around her. Baby, what's wrong? Letty, of course, not wanting to scare Andrew off, just shakes her head. Andrew says, Don't lie to me. I know something's wrong. What is wrong? Taking a deep breath, Letty says, let's go on the porch. There's something I need to tell you. Something that I haven't told you yet. Taking her hand, Andrew leads her out to the porch. Leaning up against the rail, as Letty takes a seat, Andrew stands in front of her against the rail, looking at her, waiting patiently for her to begin. Taking a deep breath, Letty said, as you know, I am not fully human. I am not fully shifter. I am also part vampire. As with being part shifter, I have my wolf senses, my wolf capabilities, but also as part vampire, I have some vampiric capabilities. Though I do not feed on blood, I still have capabilities which you may not understand. Andrew looks at her and nods for her to continue. Letty said, I can also read minds. Much like my grandfather, I inherited the capability from him. For a moment, Andrew stands before looking at Letty, and then he takes a knee in front of her. He said, Letty, that is something that you cannot help. Not only is it something you cannot help, this you were born with this. Therefore, it is not your fault. I would never shun you, and I will never let anyone shun you for something you cannot control. With a sigh of relief, Letty smiles at Andrew, wondering how she was so lucky to find her soulmate, a soulmate that will stand beside her no matter what. As both lean in to kiss, a bone-chilling howl spreads throughout the night air. Without a second thought, both stand, and as they jump off the porch, both shift. Andrew into his black wolf, Letty into her reddish silver wolf. Both race through the forest in an attempt to reach the elder wolf pack. Immediately, both were able to mind link in with the elder pack. Immediately, they hear that their perimeter has been breached. as the other younger wolf members come in with a shift and are able to hear through the mind link, Jake says, "It's not a leech, nor is it one of our own. This is a completely different smell, one that I've never smelt before." For the rest of the night, both packs searched and searched, all to no avail. The new scent just suddenly disappeared, which causes havoc within the packs. None knowing what or who this new scent could be. I want to thank you guys for listening. I will post another part in the next couple of days. Tomorrow at 7, we will be having Monday news. I appreciate you guys coming in. I love each and every one of y'all, whether it's people that's mad with me or not. We're all family. And I'm going to let the wolves take it out.